Hey there, welcome back to another video. This time around, it is another installment of the series Physical Media Madness. And you'll probably notice that my energy level in this is going to be a little bit lower than maybe in the past, or I might sound a little bit sick. That's because I'm still recovering from the virus that shall not be named. So now that that's out of the way, let's get started. I got some titles that I picked up for the collection as usual. I have a smaller stack this time around though than in previous installments. That was intentional. Didn't want to spend as much this month, but I still got some good titles here and a good variety. So I'm gonna start out with some titles that I got from Best Buy over in Clackamas, Oregon, because I went over there to pick up an item, and they also had some other titles there. So I decided to just grab them while I could because I didn't have to worry about sales tax and didn't have to worry about shipping. And also, I want to support Best Buy keeping physical media available in the store because my closest Best Buy doesn't do that anymore. They had a remodel and now they don't even have anything available. It's all online. So went to Clackamas and I saw this and I had to get it because, I love Creepshow. Creepshow's arguably my favorite horror film. Did not have the 4K and decided to grab it for the collection. Looks great. It's the same transfer, but now it's actually on a 4K disc, not a Blu-ray, and it does have the benefit of Dolby Vision, which for a film like this definitely does make the visuals pop a little bit more. No new features or anything though, but still really good to have it for the collection because I just love that movie. Then I also got The People Under the Stairs because I did not have the Scream Factory release even on Blu-ray, and this is the latest release, so wanted to get it. I really enjoy this movie, and the only edition of it that I had was an Arrow Video Blu-ray, which was region locked. So I definitely wanted to get my hands on the 4K, so I don't have to deal with the hassle of region locking and any of that nonsense. Then I got this. This is the Steelbook 4K of The Fog from Scream Factory. This is the last one that was in the store. I really like this film. This is definitely my top 5 of favorite Carpenter films. And I had the UK Studio Canal release. Actually, I still do. But I just saw the Steelbook and I knew I had to have it because I just really love the artwork. I love that it's got Blake there with his sword, and it's just a really nice looking 4K steelbook. And wanted to get the Scream Factory 4K. The Studio Canal one, it's not the best. And then I got this 4K steelbook set from Best Buy. This is a Best Buy exclusive. I'll say what you want about Best Buy, but these Best Buy exclusives, they're actually pretty affordable considering what they are and what you get. So you have this is Warm Bodies. I actually haven't seen this film. I've heard a lot of things about it. Some good, some bad. But I like Nicholas Hoult and Renfield, and decided to get it. And the idea of it sounded interesting. It's kind of similar to My Boyfriend's Back, but like a little bit more serious version of it. So, Warm Bodies. Then I got the Blu-ray of My Best Friend is a Vampire from Vestron. This is their most recent release. Really glad they put this out. I think this is a gem. Really was surprised by this when I saw it on VHS years ago. Really glad to get it on Blu-ray. And then I also got the 48 hours double feature. So you have 48 hours, another 48 hours. So this is a 4K set for both movies. And then I also got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, because this is actually a paid request, which I will get around to within like the next week or so when I'm feeling better. And the rest of this stuff is kind of a mix of things. Got it from Grub. Also got it from um, local record shop. So I got Sisu, I saw this in the theater actually for my birthday. Had a lot of fun with it. Still haven't reviewed it yet, but I will sometime this year. Also got Polite Society. Uh, just a handful of 4Ks here. This is from a Grove deal. These are my most recent, I think, recent acquisitions other than the eBay find. So Hellboy 2, the Golden Army. Um, really enjoyed this one. I think this is a very underrated sequel. I didn't have it in 4K, only had the Blu-ray. Detective Pikachu, another underrated film if you ask me. This film, for some reason, has been forgotten about already, which is crazy to me considering that it's a Pokemon movie. I actually like this more than even some of the more popular recent video game movies. I like this more than the Super Mario Brothers movie. Jupiter Ascending, because I like sci-fi epics, and yeah, this could be a train wreck, and I've heard it is, but should have some nice visuals at least. So got that. Then I also got The Birds, Hitchcock's The Birds. Got Fields of Dreams with Kevin Costner, and Dunkirk. Because I like 1917, so I wanted to check that one out. Arrow Video did come through, and I did get the Silent Running replacement. They actually were really quick with it, so I'll give them credit. So that's Silent Running. And just a few more here. Knock at the Cabin with M. Night Shyamalan. Heard it's actually pretty decent, so I decided to grab it for cheap from the record shop. Gone Baby Gone. So only had the DVD. Man on Fire. Another one I only had on DVD. Matilda. I know there's a 4K coming out, but I'm fine with the Blu-ray of this movie. And then I also got a Superbad for the collection because I only had the DVD of the film. And we also have The Comic Strip Presents. This came out recently on Blu-ray from Vinegar Syndrome, but the picture quality isn't really that much better than DVD, and it's missing episodes. So I got a good deal on this from eBay. It was the seller who was actually local, so I got it like literally the next day, and I paid less than I would for the Blu-ray set. The thing is, it is region locked, so you have to use a region-free player to get it to work. But at least it works. Unlike this piece of shit set. Normally, I do not do like random rants on certain physical media releases when I do these videos, but I felt compelled to do that with this piece of shit. This fucking set is garbage. This set should be thrown in a landfill. In fact, all of these sets should be collected and thrown in a goddamn landfill because they're fucking useless. They're trash. So, not only does it have this fucking bullshit with the booklet packaging, which is never a good thing usually because it just scratches the discs. There are multiple discs in here that are corrupted, that are just do not play, do not work. This disc right here is trash. It does not fucking work. Disc this other one for Fast 7 doesn't work either. Freezes in the middle. So there's multiple discs here that have issues playing or are getting scratched. And the thing is, I bought this brand new like in 2020 from Amazon. And this was like one of the first 4K box sets I remember getting, and it was a good deal. I was all excited about it. And then when I finally decided to watch this set and rewatch these films, because that's what I've been doing actually while I've been recovering, is I've been watching franchises. So I watched Mission Impossible again, and then I was revisiting this franchise. And I was having fun watching these movies again, but I wasn't having fun dealing with the bullshit of this fucking box set. So do not buy this set. Even if you see it for cheap somewhere, don't get it. Just avoid it, skip it, buy the individual releases, or stick with the Blu-rays, or get the most recent release that has like all 10 films or something. Don't, even if it's a good deal, don't get it, because there's a high probability that you're going to get multiple discs that don't work. So it makes you question your sanity, as well as question the viability of your 4K player or your setup, because you're having so many discs that are freezing like an hour into the movie, and you're wondering what the hell is going on, and you have to switch to the goddamn Blu-ray in order to finish the movie. So yeah, don't. To run over every copy of that set with a fucking souped up uh, sports car with a fucking one of those big giant souped up Fast and Furious cars from Fast 7, the ones that fell out of the back of the airplane. Normally I don't do that kind of stuff, but I felt like I had to, because that set sucks. And now I'm just going to talk about some upcoming releases from Dawn of the Discs here. So Shout Studios, they're releasing the Weird Al Yankovic story movie with the Daniel Radcliffe. That's cool. All right. Dawn of the Discs also announced that Arrow Video is going to be coming out with a couple new titles later this year. In November. So in November, you have Barbarella in 4K, which I think that film could look really impressive in that format, to be honest. And I'm glad I didn't get the Blu-ray now, because Arrow's coming out with a 4K set. And Tremors 2 Aftershocks. Yeah, Tremors 2 is getting a 4K special edition from Arrow Video with special features and a new restoration of the film's original print and everything. So yeah, it's getting the red carpet treatment, which is pretty cool. Did not expect that. Sony's also doing a Muppets 4K, the Muppets Take Manhattan, which is nice, because the Muppets Take Manhattan Blu-ray is one that's been harder to find over the years. So it's nice that they're coming out with a new release, and it's going to be in 4K. I hope that means that Disney's going to be doing 4Ks of the other ones. I doubt it, but it would be nice. But Disney is doing 4Ks of some titles, like Prey. They're coming out with a 4K of Prey. They're doing 4Ks of The Mandalorian Season 1 and 2, and WandaVision and Loki Season 1. No announcement yet of The Abyss, even though James Cameron did approve the transfer. I know that personally, because I heard that in person from somebody who works in the industry and knows the guy who worked on the transfer. So I don't know what the hell the holdup is by Disney at this point. It's not James Cameron. I can't blame James Cameron anymore, because it's not really his fault that it's not coming out on 4K yet. It's Disney. So yeah, I hope to hear that announcement sometime, but don't know. Hannibal's getting like a 4K steelbook in the UK. If you really love that movie and you feel like you have to get the steelbook. RoboDoc. Okay, here's another rant for you. I've been out for a long time, or at least a long time for my channel, because normally I'm not gone and I'm not putting up content for this long. So might as well give you another rant. RoboDoc. What a fucking crock of shit. So RoboDoc got a release date recently, and it was for a 4-part documentary on the first movie, which was not the initial plan with this documentary. This documentary has taken forever and a day to finally get finished, let alone get released in some format. So it's nice to see that there's some progress being made. But I really do not buy the explanations from the producers and from those involved with this documentary that they had a plan to make a smaller documentary or something, and then they only were able to expand things and talk about the sequels and do this other stuff when they got a deal with Screambox, which is a studio that's going to be releasing the documentary in parts, in episodes apparently, on their streaming service. That's the explanation that the producers of RoboDoc are giving for RoboDoc not being released in its entirety. Because that's what's happening here. You're only getting the first part of this documentary if you're a non-backer, which in the past, that was not the plan. I even talked to the director through social media, and he even expressed that was not the plan that they were going for. They were not going for multiple different Blu-rays with different parts of the documentary. Because first off, that's unheard of and that's never been done before in the history of physical media, where you have seasons of documentary uh, productions. That's never happened before in any capacity, because it's a ripoff and it's taking advantage of the consumer. And most people know better, and they're like, well, we're not going to do that because that's fucking bullshit and that's shady as hell. But no, apparently, Screambox, I guess because of the deal that they made with the people who are doing RoboDoc, now Screambox essentially is the one that controls the distribution of this documentary. And so they are doing this stupid fucking season format. So now, when RoboDoc comes out on Blu-ray, finally, later this year, it's just part one. And it's on the first movie. So the stuff about the second movie, the third film, or the TV show, or any of the other stuff outside of the first movie, that's going to be released separately. Now, for people who backed the documentary initially on Kickstarter and Indiegogo, I've heard that the plan is that they're going to get all the parts. But are they going to get all the parts once Screambox releases them all on streaming? Or and then they're just going to get the Blu-rays the Screambox was intending to release in the first place? Or are they going to get all their perks that they initially paid for? I don't know about that yet. I know that some of the people behind RoboDoc are still being, let's just say, socially tone deaf on social media with certain people, which is really unfortunate to hear and to see. And I've left comments on their page, and what's ironic is I got this badge for being like one of the most top contributors on the social media, just because I posted like maybe a couple comments, and both of them were like, hey, why is this just being released as one part? And we're doing individual Blu-rays and separate releases for this documentary. Like, this wasn't initially the plan. Why is this happening this way? Because it's just absurd to me. Because I know that before Screambox got involved, they shot interviews with people involved with the sequels and with the show. I know that for a fact. You just go to their social media and you'll see that. Screambox didn't really become a thing until Synergy Jim bought them, if I remember correctly. And that only happened recently. So when they were doing these interviews with the people for the sequels and for this other stuff, Synergy Jim had not bought Screambox. So Screambox didn't have enough money or enough capital to be able to pull any strings, let alone funnel in, what is it, £250,000 or something, that the producers of RoboDoc were saying that they got from Screambox to finish the documentary. It's just a very questionable, very just WTF kind of situation here with RoboDoc. Yes, we're getting something, but as a fan of RoboCop, as somebody who's been following this documentary for years, for it to finally get announced for a release and for it to still come with catch is really disappointing. It really is. So, that being said, of course I did pre-order it, but I hate the idea that I'm going to have to buy numerous Blu-rays now separately to get the full RoboDoc documentary. What I don't hate, though, is that Severin is going to be releasing Dario Argento's opera in 4K later this year. I'm really excited for that. I missed out on the box set, the limited edition set from I believe it. I don't think it was Severin. It was another company. So I missed out from, I think it was Scorpion. So I missed out on that set. So I'm really glad that Severin is picking up the ball here and is doing a 4K for opera. Although I'm not glad with what the price tag is going to be, because I'm pretty damn sure it's going to be astronomical considering it's Severin. And speaking of Severin, still no movement at all on my order from halfway to Black Friday. Like nothing. No movement whatsoever on my order. I'm not the only one. They said that they were going to start doing it in August. No progress whatsoever. So just you know, the usual Severin delays on shipping, which is wonderful, which is great. It's fucking phenomenal. But I still am glad that they're doing a 4K of opera. I have to be honest. If you're a fan of David Gordon Green's Halloween Ends or Halloween trilogy, there's a Steelbook box set coming out. So guess be on the lookout for that. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-meter cattle prod myself, but, you know, have at it if you're a fan of it. Scrooge is getting a 4K from, what is it, Paramount? Are they the ones that, Paramount, which is cool. I do like that film a lot. I'd like to pick that up sometime. Kino's releasing the Ilsa films from their new Kino Cult label. So if you want some Ilsa, She-Wolf of the SS, Kino's got you covered later this year. Megan's getting a 4K. I'm fine with the Blu-ray, to be honest. Don't need the film in 4K. Spider Labyrinth's getting release from Severin. So is Cemetery Man. Columbo, the 70s seasons 1 through 7 are getting a Blu-ray from Kino Lorber. Just going through here some more. The Blob. Yeah, Scream Factory had some good announcements fairly recently. The Blob remake's getting a 4K. So is My Bloody Valentine. Pumpkinhead. I think there was another one, too, that they were doing. I can't remember it off the top of my head. Cats Don't Dance is finally getting a Blu-ray release from Warner Archives, so if you're a fan of that one, be on the lookout for that. Let's see here. Scorsese's Mean Streets is getting a 4K release from Criterion. Of course, you have The Exorcist 4K that's coming out pretty soon. Cujo from Kino Lorber. Red Dragon, which I think is also from Kino Lorber. That awful comedy starring Anthony Michael Hall and Robert Downey Jr. and Sam Jackson and Judd Nelson, Hail Caesar, it's getting a Blu-ray release from MVD. To me personally, that film should have just remained in obscurity. The American Ninja films, at least the first two, they're getting new Blu-ray releases from Kino Lorber with slipcovers and everything. I don't think they really have any new transfers, though, so I think it's just like the same. Yeah, I think it's just the same stuff as the overseas release, 88 Films release, but not without any of the same features. The Naked Gun's getting a 4K. The Leslie Nielsen classic comedy, There Will Be Blood, is getting a 4K release as well. The Challenge with Scott Glenn's getting re-released. Funeral Home, it seems like it's finally going to get a Blu-ray, which I'm curious about because the film's always just been available with just garbage picture quality that just looks like a low grade VHS rip. Howling 4 is getting a media book release on Blu-ray overseas. Just don't waste your money on that shit. Kino Lorber's doing a 4K of Transmutations. Why? Monster Squad 4K has a release date now. The tentative street date is November 28th of this year. Pin's getting a Blu-ray in Germany, overseas. Still waiting for stuff to load here. It's like once you get to a certain point on Dawn of the Discs, like for some reason it just takes forever to load. So forgive me. Doom Generations finally getting a physical media release on Blu-ray and not just VHS. So if you're a fan of that, that's coming out later this year as well. I know that one has a decent cult following. Yeah, it's Pumpkinhead. Yeah, My Bloody Valentine. I thought there was another one. Is Night of the Comet also getting one? The Mist is getting a 4K release. So if you're a big fan of that one. I'm okay with the Blu-ray, to be honest, of that movie. Don't need the 4K. There's some surprising like steelbook releases that are coming out. Like recently, they just announced Godzilla, the 1998 film. So I'm like, I like the movie, but are there really enough fans of that film to warrant a steelbook special edition? I'm just saying. The Possession, that's getting a 4K release, I believe. Yeah, it's from. I think it's from. Yeah, it's from Second Sight. There's also one coming out from Umbrella. So I'm just still looking through. Forgive me for the silence. Well, I think honestly, since it's taken forever to load, I think I will probably just stop this here. Um, yeah, that's some of the upcoming releases that coming out on 4K and Blu-ray from various different studios. So yeah, that's it for this month's installment of Physical Media Madness. A little less crazy than some of the months past, but hope there's still enough there to make this video worth watching, and I'll get around to some more paid requests as well as some new franchises that I'm going to tackle, like Mission Impossible. But I'm going to take it easy for a little bit, uh, just kind of recuperate a little bit more. And once I get everything back to 100%, then I'll start churning out more and more videos. But for right now, I'm going to put this out here for you guys and gals. Thank you so much for your support. Thanks for the kind words. And till next time. See you later. See ya.